Hey there, Ali Sayed here. Now, today I'm going to basically cover a conversation I had with this gentleman I meet once a week, and we kind of discuss present affairs and everything and catch up on how things are going. This guy's a pharmaceutical consultant, and we were talking about, well, we were just kind of like, again, seeing how things are and everything, and we just decided to talk about, he brought the issue, the stuff about dealing with scientists and how many scientists actually aren't able to cover up funding for their projects, and what are the reasons why certain scientists, the pharma companies, are willing to back them, and then they're not willing to back the other scientists. And it was interesting. He said that scientists, kind of the ones that are able to to basically back funding from these big companies, if there's a if the curve of a problem goes like that, then these mature and older scientists who are experienced and able to kind of like convince the pharma companies that they have something that they can bring to a fair conclusion and actually give a viable solution, which can then make money for the pharma companies because they're treating or curing a disease. They're the ones who will basically on a spectrum like that, going upwards of difficulty level, they're concentrating on the problem there. Okay, so really at the start, the problem there, they're working on the solution there. So they're really focused. They're really focused on getting the solution from that to that point. Whereas a lot of inexperienced or young budding scientists who are basically in the graduate departments or just about getting their degrees and are working with universities, what they tend to do is that they'll basically be working on trying to solve this big ultimate question. Interesting, isn't it? Because that is what he said, that because they're trying to be overly ambitious, they're not able to then satisfy the big pharma companies that they can have a solution to that, and then their research and their own hopes of becoming a scientist really are dashed, and they become disheartened. And obviously, again, there's a lot of he said, I mean, again, out of 100%, 90% of research isn't able to get funding backing from these big pharma companies. And this is the point. It's interesting that again, what people tend to forget, and it happens so often, that people with, a lot of us, you might be the one who are able to kind of like really work at the next solution, but we have such an information overload at the moment that what we tend to do is, when we are given solutions to our problems, we tend to really start looking at this end bit, right at the top. But what we have to understand is it's always working on a spectrum of difficulty. How can we try and get there and get the solution up there when we haven't been able to work around the point up here? Okay, just the next step. And that's where a lot of times when people are basically choosing a second stream of income that can pair up with their, most likely their jobs, okay, in the industry, in the world we live in at the moment, okay, so this is what's happening. A lot of times they'll basically try and jump right at the top. And what needs to happen is that every person needs to reflect, and people looking for a second stream of income, they need to reflect on the principles of wealth and how making an informed decision can actually help to get you there over a systematic period of time. And it has to be understood. Fast cash, trying to make fast cash, fast buck, and putting more money in your pocket, if you try and move too fast, you know what's going to happen. What happens when a novice starts to drive a car at 100 miles per hour and he's just got a license in his pocket, or he's just got a provisional license in his pocket? And that's the point I'm trying to make. I hope you're getting that. When you're trying to look for a solution, look within yourself and see how far have you come. Be realistic. Be realistic when people are pitching their product to you, to know how far they have come and how much time they've spent in it, how much dedication they've spent in it. Yes, there are shortcuts to success because you've got a mentor, and the mentor has done it and he's sharing his knowledge with you, but know that you have not experienced that yourself. So what you need to do is, I'm going to leave a link underneath this video. It's going to take you to a system called the 67 steps. Tai Lopez is an absolute genius, because this guy, again, why am I calling him genius? Genius, again, that genius has been taken from him making it from being broke to, like he puts it, driving a Lamborghini and through Beverly Hills and living in Beverly Hills. But there was a process. Okay, so what you gotta do is start with knowing whether you understand the principles of wealth. So click on the link below, go through to this, and he's gonna give you free training that's gonna explain to you what the principles of wealth are, where you should be starting, and then you don't make the same mistakes, and always take each step at a time. I hope this helps. Look, click the link below this video and go through and see what an amazing system this is that has been able to get 155,000 people on board only since October 2016, when it actually was introduced by Tai Lopez out there to help people and help people embrace the further potentials, possibilities of life. So click the link below this video and get through. All right, see you. Keep in touch.